Hey guys, last recap of E3 stuff. Today was Nintendo. I apologize in advance if I don't seem as excited as maybe I say I am. Today was a rough day, personally. Some stuff's going on, which I won't get into, but I wanted to still make sure I got this video out. So I'm just gonna jump right in. So they started out with the next announcement for Smash Brothers characters, and it looks like they're adding like the Dragon Quest, 11 characters. They'll be out in the summer of 2019. Didn't have a specific date, which they haven't done specific dates for any of the other ones, so it doesn't surprise me. They did show Dragon Quest XI for the Switch, which I believe Square also showed off anyways, so that wasn't a thing. Then they got right into the Luigi's Mansion 3 trailer. This is one of the games I am excited for. They showed that there is a co-op mode with, I can't remember, what was it called? Waluigi or something like that. It's kind of like a slime version of Luigi that can go like over spikes and fit through fences and stuff like that. So you can actually switch between the two of them if you're playing by yourself, or you can play with a friend and one plays as him while the other plays as Luigi. There's also a 3-player mode where it looks like there's like a different bunch of different colored Luigi. So there was like a Luigi with pink outfit, and there was like I think a blue and whatnot, and each of them have their own Waluigis or whatever it was called. I honestly don't remember. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. But yeah, it ended up saying that it was 2019, but they still didn't give a specific release date, which was kind of surprising considering they have specific release dates for other games that are much later. Yeah, it looked really good though. It's definitely one of the games I'm waiting for on the Switch. I really enjoyed the original on the GameCube. I'd love to get my hands on it again, actually. When I was at One Up Games not too long ago, they did have one, but it was way out of my price range. Not surprised, though, because it is not a super common game to come across. Maybe I'll grab the re-release of it on 3DS. I don't know. But anyways, moving on. There's like a tactical RPG being made based on the Jim Henson's Dark Crystal. That's coming also in 2019. There was a longer name to it than just the Dark Crystal, but that's what it is. It's funny. A lot of people my age are huge fans of Dark Crystal. I have never seen it. Which is weird because I do love Jim Henson. So, whatever. Then they showed the Zelda Link's Awakening trailer. That is scheduled for September 20th, 2019. That one looked really good. Honestly, I wasn't as excited about that one, but after seeing it a little bit more, I think that is something I definitely think I would want to play. So that's cool. I've always been a huge fan of Nintendo stuff. I think Nintendo makes the best games, period. I always have. I grew up on Nintendo. Nintendo's always been my thing, so shouldn't surprise anybody. Then there was Trials of Mana, which is an action RPG. Now, I'm not super familiar with the. Okay, so because there was also after that they announced that they were releasing that day, and it is. I already looked; it's on the eShop already. The collection of Mana. So apparently it's one of the Final Fantasy games, which I guess is like the precursor to the Mana series. That was on, I think, the original Game Boy, and it's the same original graphics, so it actually looks like a Game Boy screen and everything. And then they had what's it called? Secret of Mana, which we all know. And then it said Trials of Mana for the first time in the West. So it looks like it's an older game, but this other Trials of Mana, I guess, is like, I guess it's a remaster as well. So, so yeah, it looks like there's like the actual game coming to North America for the first time in this collection that was released today, and then early next year, I guess there's like a I'm guessing it's like a remaster is what it is. I'm not really too sure. All I know is Steve at work was like super pumped about it. Then they showed that The Witcher 3 is coming to the Switch, which is kind of cool. It's supposed to be out this year, it said. Again, no specific. Sorry, no specific date was given. Obviously, it doesn't look nearly as good as obviously the Xbox One or PS4 version, but it still looks pretty decent. And I'm all for Nintendo. I get it that a lot of these games are games that have already been released, and I know that's a bummer for some people, but I think the more these games that do well on the Switch means that more games like some of the other ones that are coming day one, like Wolfenstein Youngblood and stuff like that, and Doom Eternal, that just bodes really well for them. Next up was Fire Emblem Three Houses trailer, which everyone kind of knew about already, obviously, because it was announced quite a while ago, and it's actually out next month on July 26th. Then they played this really weird trailer where like this young couple go into like this almost like haunted house type thing, just so that they can play Resident Evil, because that's what lots of people do. And they announced that Resident Evil 5 and 6 are both coming to the Switch. So it looks like over time, eventually, every Resident Evil game is going to end up on every console, I guess. They then announced No More Heroes 3 for 2020. I'm not a fan of the series, never was. It's actually funny because, again, like I said, I was at work, so I did see parts of the Nintendo Direct while I was at work, but I didn't see all of it. And so I missed this part, and I didn't see this originally. And somebody came in wanting to pre-order it already, and it was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Sorry. But it hadn't been added to our system yet. Some stuff was getting added in almost right away, but some stuff wasn't, so I don't know the reasons or anything like that. But Luigi's Mansion wasn't added either, unfortunately. Hopefully it'll be in there tomorrow. Then there was Contra Rogue Corps, which I love the Contra games, so this is kind of like an updated, it's similar to the Contra 3 Alien War game, where it's kind of that overhead top-down view, kind of that Smash TV style gameplay, which they're fun. I like those type of games. So that's it's got local and online multiplayer. Comes out September 24th. That looked really cool. And then they also mentioned that the Contra collection is coming out today as well, digitally on the Switch. And again, it's there. I'm pretty sure I wrote this down wrong, because something called Daemon X, I want to say Machine, because that's actually what I wrote, but I don't know if that's actually what it was. Didn't pique my interest at all. It's coming out September 13th. Now, I'm not a fan of this series, but I thought this was pretty cool. Panzer Dragoon is finally a thing again. It's kind of neat. That's the thing. There was so many good, whether you like them or not, there was so many good old franchises that nobody uses anymore. But that's apparently coming this year as well. Then there was like a little thing where they explained that the Pokeball Plus accessory, that little ball controller that they made for Let's Go Pokemon games, apparently works as a Pokewalker for Sword and Shield. So you can take your Pokemon from Sword or Shield, put it in there, and then take it with you like you did. Kind of like how they used to have, if you remember, they had the Pokewalkers on the, was it the 3DS, I think, for some of the older Pokemon games. I think it was like Heart Gold and Soul Silver were the ones that had it, if I remember correctly. Not a Pokemon fan, but I know that's a big deal for Pokemon, so that's a neat idea. It gives you a little bit of extra use if you already got those controllers and you don't feel like you're getting enough use out of them. But they did specify that you can't actually use it as a controller for the game, which is a little disappointing, I'm sure. But there was a trailer for Astral Chain, sorry, not Train. It comes out on August 30th. There was a trailer for a game called Empire of Sin, coming in spring 2020. Looked kind of neat. It was like it looked like an XCOM style game, but it's like got gangsters and stuff like that in it. So it's like, you know, old school gangster mobster type time period. So that could be cool. I don't know. We'll see more later. I did see that it is coming out for other consoles as well, but that was the first I'd seen it. Then there was a big trailer for the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which I love the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, but this one I'm probably not going to get right away, unfortunately. It is coming out next month on July 19th. There is an expansion pass for it, and content will start rolling out apparently in the fall. The content, I guess there's going to be 3 separate contents. One's going to add Marvel Knights content, one's going to add X-Men content, and the other one's going to add Fantastic Four content. Then there was a Zelda-based game called Cadence of Hyrule. I didn't really understand what it was. It sounds like it's based on a game that already exists, kind of like the Hyrule Warriors game is basically Dynasty Warriors, but Zelda skinned. I think this is kind of the same idea. It's just a Zelda skinned of something else. This one I was surprised it's been so long since the last one, but Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games is back. It looks like they added a ton more events. In the trailer, I lost count, but it looked like there was probably more events in this upcoming one than there's been in any of the previous Mario and Sonic games. So that gives more variety. That's coming out in November. There wasn't a specific date, but they did say November. There is online play as well, which is good. Finally, the news I was probably the most waiting for. Animal Crossing, it's called, the actual title is Animal Crossing New Horizons. It has been delayed. It will not be out this year. They said it's going to be March 20th, 2020. It looks like you start on a desert island, with just a tent and not much of anything else. And from there you can craft stuff. So it's almost like, they've almost made it more of like an actual sim. And you actually looks like you build everything yourself over time, build everything up, and eventually, I guess, create a town on this island, which could be kind of cool. Like, I think I like that idea. It's a little bit different. The trailer at the end almost implies that there is an online multiplayer aspect to it, but they weren't really clear on that, and I have not watched any of the Treehouse stuff, so I don't know if that is a thing or not. So that's not until March now, so it's a little bit further away than I was hoping, but it is what it is. They did a big sizzle reel of a bunch of the upcoming games. I know I missed some on here, but in it was Spyro the Dragon, which this was the one that everyone's been going on about. You know, they released Crash initially exclusively to the PlayStation, but it eventually came out for Xbox and Switch the same day later. Then Spyro gets announced, and the assumption was that it was also going to go to PlayStation first and then Xbox and Switch later. But then you're like, no, it's coming to all consoles the same day, PlayStation and Xbox. And everyone's like, well, what about Switch? So a lot of people, I think, at that point thought, well, maybe Crash didn't do well on the Switch, so maybe Activision opted to skip the Switch for Spyro. But then they announced Crash Team Racing, and it's like, nope, same day, all consoles, PlayStation 4, Xbox, and Switch. And so that left everybody kind of scratching their head going, and ironically, I actually had to scratch my head, but scratching their head saying, what about Spyro on Switch, though? Well, the good news, it's coming. It was the first video in the sizzle reel, and it said it was going to be September 3rd. There's a Ni no Kuni game coming out in September. Obviously, some of the games that we already knew about from other conferences, Minecraft Dungeons, Elder Scrolls Blades, Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein Youngblood. Sinking City was shown, which, as far as I knew, was only Xbox and PlayStation. So, Dying Light, Alien Isolation, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, Dragon Quest Builders 2, Catan, Super Lucky Tale. So that's, for those who don't know, Super Lucky Tale was published by Microsoft. Now, from what I understand, Microsoft doesn't actually own it, but they are the publisher, and it is included in the Game Pass and everything. So I don't know if this is the same game. I know Super Lucky Tale technically existed already on PC prior to this, and it's a different game than what was released on Xbox. I don't know if maybe this is the PC game coming to Switch. I'm not really too sure. Dauntless was shown, and of course Mario Maker 2, which comes out later on this month, which is another game that I'm very excited for. Then they basically closed out after that with two last things. So the first one was a very cleverly done reveal trailer for another Smash Brothers DLC character. And the way it's done, you're like, oh, it's Banjo-Kazooie. And then all of a sudden it zooms in and you see that it's actually the Duck Hunt dog with one of the ducks. And then they just troll you hard for the next 2 seconds with him doing the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, right? Like popping up like he did in the Duck Hunt game back in the day. And then all of a sudden Banjo-Kazooie do drop out of the sky and knock him out kind of thing. And yes, it is actually Banjo and Kazooie are the new characters for Smash. So, and they'll be the full edition after the Dragon Quest. So we have the Joker from Persona already. So it looks like the Dragon Quest guy is going to be next, then Banjo. What the last, what is it, 2 after that? Don't know yet. And then they, just as they wrapped up, they said, we have one more thing we want to quickly show you. And they showed this teaser that definitely I could see it right away. So it was definitely the Zelda Breath of the Wild art style. You see Link and Zelda, and I don't really know what was going on, but in the trailer, but then it comes up and it says the Breath of the Wild sequel is currently in development, and that's how the whole presentation ended. So that's pretty big news as well, that they're working on a sequel to Breath of the Wild. Overall, I think Nintendo truthfully usually has the best show for E3 every year. They've usually got so much more fun stuff to talk about. But yeah, for me, it's again, it's Mario Maker 2, it's Luigi's Mansion 3, it's Animal Crossing. Those are my big ones. But I definitely am interested in the Zelda Link's Awakening game now as well. I definitely do want to get Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 eventually as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know. My son, I know he loves Smash Brothers, so I showed him the Banjo-Kazooie trailer. He thought it was hilarious. He's 9. So yeah, that was it. Overall, I definitely enjoyed Nintendo's presentation overall. A lot of good stuff coming. Definitely a lot of good stuff to get excited about. So yeah, I'll throw it out there again, just like I have the last couple days. What did you see in Nintendo's thing that you're excited about? What did you think? Did you think some of it sucked? What are you disappointed with, or was there anything you were disappointed with? Leave in the comments below. As always, like, share, subscribe, and all that wonderful good stuff. I will catch you in the next video, whenever that is going to be. I don't really know. And thanks for sticking with me, because like I said, today was a rough day. Yeah, I got nothing else for you. Alright guys, take care. See ya.